let's go ahead and start round number 2. It's only right we talk about NOTTZ's relationship with Flip Mode in general, because he's always dropping gems off of those fellas, especially off that Extinction Level Event album, a little joint that we all love around here called Everybody Rise.
Man.
Everybody rise!
This is a joint that I wish I was an MC, or I wish I was BUSTA on stage doing this intro. Just I'd be happy just doing the intro.
Yeah, it's such a big record, man.
Huge record.
Such a big
Oh, there's a video on YouTube. It's like the best video I've ever seen of BUSTA performing this shit with Spliff on Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow.
Or no, was it on Ellen or Howie Mandel? Like one of these like
That is insane.
I think it was Howie Mandel actually. And he's just going crazy. He's acting like he's at the tunnel or something. And like a bunch of soccer moms in the crowd, and that's
what I was thinking when you were talking about that. I was like, hell yeah.
And what I think is so dope about that, like just even for the simple fact that he can link with the soccer moms, is that he's mentioning all of these different states in this hyped up way. So regardless of where you're from, you feel like, yo, I am part of this record. I'm hyped. I'm like, that's like a writing genius's, you know what I mean, kind of ordeal. Like, I know I'm going to perform this record wherever we go. This is going to happen. Period.
Black Moses said that record was a building shifter, which is accurate.
Yes.
Accurate.
We actually spoke about this on a Busta Rhymes episode before about that being.
I remember. Is that like a one as a DJ? You got to be wise of how you drop that, where you drop that. Meaning, like, is there going to fight so people will drop their drinks? You know, you guys control the crowd.
I don't know if people will fight, but I mean, it kind of depends, man. Like, if you really just want to set the party off, like from jump, you just go.
Right. I'll play that. Wake everybody up. Yeah, if you play that first, like you gotta like really like keep going
after that.
First on anything, because it's hard to follow us around doing anything.
Then that means you're a dope ass DJ, because if that's how you setting it off, it's about to be a party in this bitch.
That's where you like we about to party tonight, and you play that, you just go from there.
Bling, bling, bling. Listen, it's a fire track.
That shit is fire.
It's our favorite. Again, we've talked about it in previous episodes. It's come up quite a few times here. So it's only right that we talk about that record, because we're talking about producers working with legends. Busta Rhymes is a legend, be clear. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right that we talk about legends to keep the story going. Let's talk about Buck Wild's production on the Notorious B.I.G. I Got a Story to Tell.
Who y'all talking to, man?
Wow.
Check it out.
Wow.
All right.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I'm gonna creep up on you, boy.
I remember the first time I heard this record, dude. Nigga pictured that with a Kodak. Down like that. Like he ain't down quite flat. Sweetness when you park that. Make a nigga want to eat that.
Welcome with you. Yeah, Jules did it again. It doesn't match up. How you played that Busta right? And that.
I know. I took what I have.
What do you mean it doesn't match up? What do you mean?
No, I will listen.
Busta thing was too hype. And
so like the tempos of the music.
Nah, Jules. This is really difficult.
This is a good one, actually.
I don't appreciate you for
this is a
one.
good round. This is a good round, man.
This one, Jules. This is really good. I don't. Somebody else go. I'm not going.
Triple C, I think you get to go last. Just spitting in my face first. You get to go last.
I got it.
I know you don't want to go first, but I appreciate that. But if you sure you don't want to go first, you want to take a stab at this real quick?
Nope.
I gotta go first, man, before I start picking.
I got it. So we're doing NOTTZ versus Buck Wild here.
Right.
Versus Buck Wild. Again, the game optics, you've been here before. Whatever hill you feel like standing on. If it's a Busta hill, if it's a Buck Wild hill.
The hill I'm going to stand on is just the beat. I'm going to take the songs out of it. And this BUSTA album was like huge for me. I mean, obviously Biggie was too, but like I'm gonna go NOTTZ on this one by a hair, because like this beat was just like the texture of it. I remember this changed what I wanted to do.
Ooh,
you know, and like, you know, this might be something, another one of these things where it's like, I think, you know, I am maybe a couple years younger than everybody, so my entry point's a little different on certain things. But like this one, like the texture of it was like, I want to make beats. I want to make beats like that. The BUCKWILD shit is beautiful. It's a great track. They couldn't clear the sample. They had to replay it. Like,
shout out to Chucky Thompson. You're right about that.
Yeah, it's a great track. Personally, I'm gonna have to go with the NOTTZ one on this, but I hate that I have to.
No, it's a struggle. I get it. Listen, thank you for being the first.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting and tough question right here. Like I'm sweating right now. I think for me, what wins out with this one, and we kind of talked about it, but I don't know. Like if I'm at the party, we could play both records, and I'm gonna get a certain type of response. But I think the longevity for the response, I might have to go BUCKWILD on this one. And it's crazy because the Everybody Rise is such a banger. The beat is fire, but I don't know. I think the story and the overall lyrics and the powerful impact of that big record clips it by that much, I think. That's my opinion.
A story to tell.
Yeah, it clips it by that much. Tough question. It's hard, but just for that, I'll go with the big for this one.
I'll show a little age or whatever, but I remember I was in, I think it was like my first year of college. I was out here at some community college, and there was these dudes on the basketball team from Brooklyn. And I'll never forget this dude's name. His name was Dante. He's up against the wall. He had his headphones on. He was like, yo, you don't know nothing about this, Pop. You don't know nothing about this big shit. And he let me hear a story to tell. And now this is before the album came out and shit. So it was on whatever mixtape or whatever he had for BK. And I remember listening to this shit, and just the lyrics, like you said, was just a whole nother thing. The production, I was lost on how smooth and ill the production was and how crazy the story is, because when in production, you don't know which way is going to make the artist go with that record. You know what I'm saying? And with the Everybody Rise, it's so crazy to me on how it's not necessarily a record that you would figure everybody would be dancing to. But as soon as you hear that record, you have to move. And then when BUSTA puts his lyrics on it, it takes it over the top. I'm gonna have to go with NOTTZ on this one. And this was a very, very tough round. This is a very, very tough round.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's what I said. It didn't match. It didn't match.
It's not that it didn't match. It's that I think production-wise, this is a kind of a different technique. I know for me personally, anytime you're talking about a beat, we're talking about a rhythm, whether it's 89, 82, 70-something BPMs, right? So when you got a record and it's got like a pause or a stop feel to it, but you still like, yo, how did he do that? How did that producer do that? And that's what makes, you know what I mean, that record so dope, because you could start off any kind of party with Everybody Rise.
Everybody else feel the same? We got a couple of votes in. Who wants to go next?
I'm choosing NOTTZ. I feel like I said, to me, if you use a different NOTTZ song like the Scarface Girl You Know against that Biggie joint, then you got something there. But you going with something that's so high energy.
I'm throwing stones at me, Triple C. Damn. Triple C, shit, I hear you.
I'm going with NOTTZ.
I got a story to tell us a true story too. That's what makes it crazy.
That's what makes it crazy.
Right. That's some real shit.
Rest in peace, Anthony Mason. One of my favorite lines in that shit is he said, and such is it. But then I forgot I had my Roscoe on me. I was like,
He drops the glass. He starts pissing on himself.
Roscoe. Listen, fair enough.
Mad paper, son.
Yeah.
Listen, we got a couple of votes. Reverend Doctor, I think you're staring at the roast a little hard there. Just it'll cook.
I'm actually going to go with BUCKWILD on this one.
You're going.
As much as I love that BUSTA record, everything about the big record makes it just a little bit like, I'm not trying to listen to a party record on my leisure. I can listen to I Got a Story to Tell. I'm not trying to be everybody wild, you know. But a story.
There's no hook.
There's no hook. I gotta be was it the Incredible Hulk days? Like,
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that was my 20.
I got a story to tell for always be a smooth glass of Merlot, son.
The Reverend Doctor putting his vote down. He put it down for Notorious B.I.G. I got a story to tell. Hobo, but we're down to you. Interesting enough, the vote can kind of matter, but not matter if you're keeping score right now. But either way, I'd love to know what you're thinking. We left you for last as per request.
Thank you, because man,
you defended my honor earlier when Triple C was,
I mean, Triple C was coming for your neck, son.
Triple C. I didn't know Triple C could throw a blade out of his mouth underneath his tongue that quickly, but
damn, I never thought that, in thinking about matchups and songs for this, I figured that Everybody Rise would come up, and I never thought I would vote against it because it's such a banger, man. It's such a monumental record.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going Buck Wild because I love story to tell. I love the concept. I love the beat. I love the feeling. Kind of like what the good Reverend said. I can sit back and chill and listen to that with some Merlot, some Malbec for me personally. But man, it's a tough track, man, and it's so the production is so clean. Shout out to Chucky Thompson on the replay. Rest in peace to him. But man, that's such a you can play that song in the club or at a party. It's gonna hit.
Let's also keep it a stack. You're probably reciting a story to tell line for line versus Everybody Rise, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just for the simple fact that Big rhymes the whole story, and then right after the story, he sits there and you hear him talking to his boys about it, and you listen to the end of the record like you just didn't listen to that whole same shit. Absolutely.
You want to hear the story version of the story? Listen, it's a dope track. Like I said, and it looks like the votes kind of decide that. Real quick before I tell the winner of this particular vote, what do they say in the chat room? What are they feeling? Which way are they split?
Phantom says Anthony Mason. Buck Wild is a monster. R.I.P. to Anthony Mason.
R.I.P. for sure.
Black Moses said Biggie by a margin, and so I think Phantom is also Buck Wild as well for this one.
And that one, the lyrics have a big part. I'm not saying that beat is not dope, but like you were saying, Scan, like the lyrics and the good Reverend was saying, like the lyrics to that song, you know what I mean? Just tie it all together perfect, bro.
Shout out Dr. Dre with Boss's Life for actually replaying that beat.
Yes. Yeah, I love that record.
Listen, it's been a dope round. We decided to take NOTTZ versus Buck Wild production, apply that to Busta Rhymes' Everybody Rise versus Notorious B.I.G's I Got a Story to Tell. And at the end of the round, believe it or not, we've come to a tie on round number 2. It's an official split down the middle.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
I was kind of happy with that. I'm glad to hear that. So we decided to give both artists a round each on
Heard
this.
that, Breeze?